brighter colors,
Yes.
right?
Sleeveless. I guess it's kind of my look anyway. It'd be good. How's everyone doing? Someone else take the lead. I'm sick of being in charge.
We like to be in charge.
Yeah. Well, what were you talking about when we were setting up? This is I think a nice hot take that would be fun to talk about.
Oh my God. Jesus, I'm gonna sound like some arrogant person, but this is just my take on how women are the superior being in this planet. I think you agree.
I agree.
Me.
I can say. And superior.
We come to this world. We have so much. We can take so much. I feel like even like pain. We have a threshold that's higher than men's, and because we menstruate and then we go through pain all our life and we bring life. There's a lot of pain in being pregnant and giving birth and taking care of the kids, and we have so much empathy. Like, I remember when you said that men lack empathy because they have to go to war.
And hunt. Yeah, they have to hunt.
So they have to have
a little bit of a
we have to have
cushion.
More because we have babies. We have to empathize with another human being and our sisters and our mothers. We are caretakers in general more than men. Yeah. So, and I think men should be of service to women because we thrive more when we have an easier life when it comes to. We don't have to struggle all the time, you know? Like, I don't think we should.
Well,
this is a very different take, but I'm a feminist, and I still believe that we have to be taken care of so we can take care of others.
Well, yeah, I believe so as well. And I see it that way. In modern society, so, women today, the avatar that we embody today, I just say that way. Women can do pretty much anything a man can do while she's bleeding.
In heels.
In heels.
Yeah.
So, right there,
Like, we need to have a man's perspective. Next time we'll have a guy.
But there's no man's perspective.
They're not allowed a perspective.
There's room for a perspective. No, I just really see it that, like you said, I'm just gonna, how I see it is, of course, as human beings, we're all one. As humans, we are all one being. As souls, we're all one. There is no difference. However, in a human avatar, there are differences.
Yeah.
When you're in a female avatar that has that cycle that sync to the moon and the astral and the emotional body that comes with a female avatar, I think in most cases, and I'm generalizing, but and even having that empathy and having it's very heavy, especially in modern society or any society that's not actually, it's not about superiority. It's like, I think society should be geared towards women and how women function and how their body is synced up and how their body cycles, and all of society should cater to that because they are the ones holding space, the ones taking care of everyone, the ones going through their cycles if they're not taking care of everyone, the ones going through that. Like, that's a lot of energy churned through a body every month, Men, they don't go through that. I mean, they have hormones and they have hormonal changes and their bodies go through things, but it's the range of it is very still.
It seems much smaller.
Solid. It's small. It doesn't fluctuate them in any way. So in that sense,
up until today, they still don't understand what we're going through.
No, I don't think, because I don't think society is a lot of women don't understand what being a woman is, because we've lost a lot of the ways of harnessing that feminine energy into the body and the power of that. I think that's what I mean, but it's not that it's a superiority thing. I just think the female energy is a much more creative, stronger momentum energy, and it could be very scattered and without the male container, so they are complementary to each other.
Well, this is what I think my argument would be.
Yeah.
I guess we'd need to define what do we mean by superior,
Right,
because I feel like that.
Yes.
It
That's
comes out
tricky.
arrogant, but I'm not thinking about it as an arrogant thing.
No,
It's
that's
just like
that's the
maybe
clarification.
females are
Yeah.
Women are
same
superior.
level.
I'm not being arrogant, guys, but we're superior. Like that comes.
Yeah, it just comes
What,
across
you thought that was
as arrogant, but it's
You
not.
got, well, that's,
no, but
that's
I get it.
how small-minded you are. What did I say? We're superior?
No, I do believe we're complementary, but in that being complementary, there has to be more space given to the women avatar. I just believe like it needs more space than the male energy, and in that sense, it kind of maybe joins what, and I agree with you that males have to be in service of the female, even inside of themselves.
Their
I
own
think.
feminine
Yeah,
energy.
their
Yeah,
own
yeah.
feminine
Yes,
energy. Like
yes.
there has
Yeah.
to be a balance, and usually the balance is containing and allowing the female energy to be that in the forefront.
Or just to be?
Yeah, well, just to be already, we'll be very happy with that.
because
We're
now
coming from
women-
very far.
Women
That's
are
the
more,
thing.
like masculine energy.
Absolutely.
They're feminine because they have to work.
That-
they have to
yes.
go do all this stuff that man can do. So the feminine is left.
It's second. It's,
Yeah, it's
we've
like-
our entire lives,
Yeah.
feminine energy has been secondary
Yeah.
in pretty much every
And,
aspect of
look
society,
down
for
on,
sure.
Like
Yeah.
if you cry or like show emotion, like you're weak, and it's like it's not a good look if you're being really feminine.
My sense is
Yes,
that
your take, Kate.
my take
Yeah,
is
take
that we're sorry, I'm trying to do tech support. Oh jeez, okay, that's what's worse. Stop, I'm stopping that. My take is that we are we can hold that point of view because we live in a modern society where we
Yeah.
don't have to hunt, we don't have to butcher our own meat, we don't have to fish, we don't have to
Absolutely.
build our own homes. Like, so like from the perspective of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where the bottom is just food, shelter, the minimum, and then as you move up, you can move into that. As we move up, you can move more into the feminine. I mean, obviously at the bottom ranks, the feminine energy of reproduction is the big piece, right? We provide a way to continue the next generation. But now as a society, we're moving out of that, we're moving into the higher realms towards actualization. Yes, there's more of a feminine energy that needs to be balanced out in all of us.
Yes.
Right? Like you said, we, as women, we had to, especially women from the last 40 years, had to suppress our feminine in order to compete in the man's world, right? Like, and man's world is masculine traits, even our suits had to be a little more masculine. And,
Yes,
so like,
absolutely.
yeah, like you touched on this last week, like the women in power, yes, they're technically women, but they got to the place of power by imitating men.
Yes, by using their driving
Yes.
with their masculine.
Yeah.
Stern and competitive and bossy and all these traits.
So I hesitate. I don't like the word superior because in my mind, balance is everything. Balance is so at the point that we're like, if it's becoming a battle of the sexes and an argument of which is superior, I feel like that's not a good use of time, because when we can, like you said, come in each of one of us is a masculine and feminine energy that we need to find balance, and then that makes it easier then to find balance externally in the society around. So I don't know, that's why I don't know. It's much more fun and is a much better clickbait to say men suck, but I think
I don't say men suck.
from a functional perspective and from like a let's grow as in our consciousness together in love.
Yes.
I don't like even having the conversation about what superior is. That's,
So let's take out
Reframe
of the
it.
conversation
Yeah.
the word superior.
yeah.
All right, Lana?
I accept that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So with that said, so it's not that women are the superior being. I I think, well, we all can agree, and I think men would agree as well. I would hope that at this point,
after we tell them what to
female,
think
yeah, well, before, just starting from now, without having heard the whole conversation before, but no, meaning that women and the feminine energy, like you said, has been suppressed for so long by, just coming with the way modern society is and the way patriarchy came about. And we said last week that patriarchy didn't serve anybody, and males are as well, like,
Right.
are suffering, from it. So it's not to say that, like, males suck. Males are absolutely necessary, and we do complement each other, and we have to balance those energy within ourselves first and foremost. So without saying that the female is the superior woman, but she has so much rattrapage. How would you say that? She has so much ground to make up for.
Yes. I feel like as we move up into the hierarchy, and we have now space for intellectual pursuits or spiritual pursuits. Like we're not spending all day just trying to scratch by and survive. Mm-hmm. We're moving up to thriving, to actualizing. That only happens by bringing in more feminine energy. It's like, it's a luxury of our day that we can even... Feminine energy, when you're trying to scrape by and you're distrustful of everyone around you, is not good. It gets in the way. That empathy does not serve you.
That's what I said. Yeah. Like you can't, like...
That's why it's so hard for women
work
as well.
in a male environment and be feminine.
Yes.
Like, it's not
going to work.
I mean, there must have been some point where the men were hunting and the women used their skills to get along, and, but I mean, for the last 100 years, feminine energy didn't serve you to get ahead, didn't serve you, but I hope now, like, from my perspective, our growth in consciousness is coming from the embrace of the feminine energy in men and women. Yeah. Just so I
you're
guess
saying
that's kind of a repeat of what I said.
No, but it's like an inevitable it's an inevitable variable of our evolution that our feminine now is going to take the lead.
Our rise in consciousness is because we're bringing in more feminine.
Right.
And we have the luxury to do that because our food is brought in, and we live in stable houses, and we have trust more or less in our neighborhoods and our friendship, like that. We can even, like, knock on that door because all that other stuff has kind of been settled. Like we have a balance to our material needs and to our survival needs. Like once that's achieved, then let's beautiful things. Let's pick some flowers. Let's have conversations about the meaning of life and where we are. Like that's.
But do you think this is happening all around society, or just like in like?
Just here, no.
Just
in this living room.
Just in Kate's house.
Like, because I feel like, is it real for everyone that they feel like safe enough and like secure enough to tap on that feminine energy, or like there's a lot of women who are still struggling and trying and to raise kids and to work for their kids, and so maybe that's...
We are incredibly privileged, right?
This is what I'm thinking. This is maybe just our take,
but that privilege allows us to be kind of the tip of the spear of where things are heading. So it's like we get to be the way showers, we get to be the light warriors of like kind of bringing that. We're cutting through it, which is such a privilege. But if you're spending all day like getting your kids to school, working a full-time job, coming home, making the meals, like you don't get to have time to thinking about these things.
There are more and more single moms than it used to be maybe 40 years ago.
For sure.
A lot of people are getting divorced, and like a lot of moms are doing it by themselves, and maybe that's when the feminine is not gonna show up. Maybe.
But maybe that's there for me. That when with my divorce, that was my opportunity to become more masculine, stand up for myself, set boundaries, and then and then once that was established, now I get to be more feminine and loving myself, and so that's there's gonna be that rough time where you're just focusing on the material, like can I pay my rent, do I have enough for groceries, especially like inflation, like I think that's a
this economy is just going wild.
So that's... But also I find I've observed lately there is that, but a lot of women now that are like, all the divorces that are happening now are women who are actually coming out of their masculine because they were in their masculine in their relationship and in their marriage. And then when they come out of their marriage, this is when they have the chance to sink into their feminine, because most women nowadays, like you said, they're not relying on their man to go hunt for food or whatever. They've got it together. Like, you know, society now, most women, they went to work. Like nobody doesn't like go to work at some, like in majority in modern society, women and men are out and doing their things to provide for the family.
Oh, so, such as you mean by the working woman tapped into her masculine.
Yes,
okay,
yes,
gotcha,
and she's been hustling in her marriage, you know, she's been providing, she's been hustling, she's been taking care of the kids or whatever, like, you know.
Yeah, right, if things were more balanced, they probably wouldn't be getting a divorce.
She's been doing, she's been doing the masculine thing, and she divorces, and then the feminine comes, because in this society, the material thing, you don't need a man to figure out your material needs. You know, so single moms, they can figure it out. You know, they have that.
If you're lucky, like
yes.
Shelters,
but I mean, reach that consciousness. If you reach that state of mind that like I can tap into, or if you even are aware of the feminine energy and the masculine, because people sometimes are just on autopilot. They just do whatever they don't sit and ponder about these things that we have the luxury of talking about and realizing. Like some people, they just do what they have to do and they go by.
They're on autopilot. Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah, that's most people. The unconscious programming that we all live in. Like it's a big deal to even recognize. Like, oh, there's a dialogue going on in my head. What? Oh, wait, what is that? Okay, if that's that, then who's that? And that. Yeah, that's a luxury.
I feel like it's rare. Like where I come from, I don't hear a lot of this kind of talk.
Well, I guess, yes, it is very rare, you know, and to have like really open-minded conversations from that perspective of privilege and
we're not even rich people.
No, it's not a financial privilege. Well, I guess to some extent it's just living in a first world country that is
not being bombed.
Not being bombed, not having like an immediate
our streets are
stress
mostly
and danger,
safe.
safety.
Considerably.
Our nervous systems are pretty calm. That's privilege.
The nervous system, yes.
That's nowadays on this planet, having the luxury to have a calm nervous system is a privilege. Yes, absolutely. So and we do. We have pretty calm nervous systems.
We worked for it. That's how I feel like that.
Yeah, we did work for it.
State of mind, and you start like looking at yourself, and it's like, this is serving me, this is not serving me, and I want to work towards what serves me. I don't think a lot of people understand that. Like even people around me that are my friends, they're not there. They're not even open to that type of discussion.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. I think we're all like popcorns, right? Everybody kind of pops at different times, but we're all heading like that way, you know.
You can't help it, because once you see other people who have started kind of figuring it out, it's hard not to be like, wait a minute.
Yeah, what's happening?
You can live like that.
Yes.
You don't have to have drama every turn. You don't have to be dragged into. It's like that's an option. So, but it takes a certain amount of awareness to even be aware. You know.
Exactly. And then get away from that fear, because fear is we always come.
We come back to shame and fear, baby.
Shame and fear.
Fear is
shame, fear, and guilt. I think these three are like fire. Like that's what gets us the most.
The in the narcissism world or codependent world, you learn about the fog. You got to come out of the fog. Fear, obligation, and guilt.
The three F.
F-O-G. Fear, obligation, guilt, and it's like,
wow, that gave me chills.
But when you start thinking, it is a fog. That's like your whole world is being responsible for someone else's emotions.
Yeah.
What happens if that's not enough, and the rage that can come from that. Putting your own desires and what feels right for you, putting that aside to show up for someone else. Like we've talked about this all the time. Like, that dissonance and that just that it is a fog. Like it's just like this really uncomfortable space. It's like you guys had that expression, the ick.
The ick, yeah.
Just it's all you know. It's just this icky fog.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, and it's literally a fog because you can't really think from your true self. You're like
can't
sort
think
of like you're
clearly at all.
you're fog.
Yeah, it's such a great,
like, almost like the foggy feeling.
Well, you can't see anything clearly at all.
Yeah.
No, nothing. Yeah.
You just it takes a lot of work to get that wiped out of your eyes and move toward who you really want to be and how authentic you want to be in your life. And
It does take a lot of work. So, congrats, kudos to you, to us, to everybody that does the work to come out of patterns that are not self-serving.
Yeah, or to recognize like, hey, I want something better
for myself.
Yeah, I can see my life. I remember the first time we had a client in the Chicago area, and they lived in this massive. It was like a McMansion, like huge. And she had like 2 kids and a full-time live-in nanny, and she did the cleaning and stuff. And so she worked full-time for their small business, and then she'd go home at night and be with her kids in this gorgeous house. And she's like, come stay with us. So we stayed with her, and I just got to like see the way these people lived. And I came back to my own apartment. It was just like, I just looked around at like the little piles and the dust and stuff that she didn't have. And I get it. Like we were very different lives, but I just remember, and it wasn't like with envy, but it was more like, hey, I could also have a nice house to live. It's like, and that was an important part of like the spiritual process, is like recognizing like envy, which is like wanting, I don't remember this.
Jealousy or envy is like you want the thing, but you don't want the other person to have the thing. I think it's like kind of a...
Yeah, like having a healthy desire, like recognizing like, oh, that is something I want for me. Rather than...
You just want something, and it's a good thing.
Just ignites that desire in you.
Feel
like wanting better for myself.
I can have this stuff, and I deserve to have good things in my life. And you saw it in front of you, but you don't want anything bad to happen to that person.
Right. It's not like I'm secretly
away from that person.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to know how.
Because they kind of come from the same space, but they're very different things. Yeah, like one is from a space of like fear, I guess, like bringing that person down, want it. Like you only get risen by pulling other people down versus like, oh, I admire that in that person. That is a trait that I would like to have for myself. I find like with fashion, like you guys have only known me as someone who likes to dress nice, but for a long time, I would like to look good, but I never knew how to do it, never took the time. And then it occurred to me, it's like I think it was after decorating my apartment. It was like, I have this fantastic house, but then I walk out in like my jeans it's just, it's just like, why can't I have that flavor of style everywhere I go? Yeah. So it's just like, instead of being like envious of the people, I started like then like looking at them and learning from them, right? So it was, again, it's just like this little step of.
Pinterest is for. This is my how I just look at Pinterest. You don't envy those people. You
admire it. Yeah, inspired.
There you go. That's a good analogy.
Yes.
Yeah, you look like, I like that. Like I want that for me.
God, she looks amazing. How does she thought about wearing those shoes with that jacket? Like I wish I could learn from her, but I don't I hate her for doing that, This is exactly how I see things.
Right, because you're approaching it from a growth perspective, right? Like you want it for yourself, you admire it. Yeah, so I've had that happened to me a lot. Like it's funny, we talk about self-growth and it is kind of an internal thing, but a lot of it reflects itself externally by wanting to show up in a certain way and look a certain way and not in a way where it's like, oh look, I want to be better than others. But I just want to be better for me.
Yeah. That's better than my previous version.
Yes, I'm running a race against myself. That's it. And
you're your only competition.
Yeah.
I like that. Yes, always just.
And even with my girlfriends, I admire things in you that I don't have, and I don't want them out of you and in me, because otherwise I wouldn't be friends with you.
You wouldn't be attracted.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like you have things that I admire, and I'm like, oh, I want to be with people like that.
Yes.
Girls, you have girls,
Yeah, the
children.
girls and I have just boys. You know what I mean? Like I look up to you and I admire you, and I'm like, I want to be with these people that I look up to. I don't want to be with people I look down to.
Yes.
You
yes,
know, like
yes.
it's just.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd rather be like the least cool person in my friend group than
Yeah.
the most cool. Because
Right.
it just means the people I'm hanging out
No,
with are
so
freak cool.
Yeah.
Exactly
Agreed.
the same thing.
Yes.
Like it's
yes.
just yes, because otherwise I'm not gonna be feeling good being with people like that. Like, so what's the point of having friends that are like don't have good qualities just so they can make
So
you
you can feel better about
better
yourself.
than everyone?
But that is a real thing.
Yeah,
That is
that's
a
a very
real
real
thing.
thing.
Like when you're in those lower consciousness, of fear, shame, guilt, like there is a thing where it's like, oh, I want to be the most put together, like
Yeah.
the least hot mess of the group because, but yeah, like but that's what's so beautiful about, so when we talk about David Hawkins, the map of consciousness is that middle, he puts numbers on it. It's super interesting. I highly recommend Power versus Force or what's the other one? Anyway, amazing author. Some of it's a little wacky, but I think it's all real. Anyway, in the middle it's this courage. Like, so below there's like fear, guilt and shame and all this, but
They're
at that
like
middle
at the
line
bottom.
is courage. And it's like that courage to no longer be a victim, to no longer
Yeah.
see yourself as a
Yes,
victim.
yes.
And then that opens up so it's like, that's like the turning point to
Yes.
have the courage to not be the coolest person. Have the
Yeah.
courage to learn from other people. Have the courage to
Yeah.
not
Exactly.
know everything,
Yeah.
and that's fine. Like, have the courage just to be yourself, which, that's been a big one.
Yes, to be authentic. What did I hear yesterday? I heard that authenticity, I don't know how this is quantified, but is 400 times stronger in frequency than love. Now,
Than love?
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're two different things, or
I know. I mean, I'm just saying this because
I'm-
when I heard it, it
don't
didn't.
see, like, how
I don't see how you can
it
quantify that anyway. Like actually, say it's 400 times. But let's say saying that we all know the frequency of love. Especially as mothers and stuff. You've connected to that unconditional love. That so. However, for our light to, I guess, radiate at higher frequency, the space of authenticity, like being completely and fully who you are without any
fear,
masks.
no
Yeah,
fear.
no fear. Which makes sense because the opposite of love is fear. So
Yeah.
if you have no fear, you're already, at that polarity of love. And in that energy of love, I guess maybe the highest thing to do is to be as authentic as possible.
Well,
Well, that's right.
I feel like if you're not authentic, how can you really love?
Well, to me,
This
that's
is
the
what
thing. Authentic
yeah.
and love are like,
It's like if you're not authentic,
Synonyms.
you cannot really love somebody or be loved really for who you are. First of all, you're not gonna
Yeah,
be
I
loved for who
agree.
you are because
I
people are
agree.
gonna love that mask that you wear.
you're not showing up as
You're
you
not
are.
showing who you really are. Like
Exactly.
if the mask is part of you, if you have it in you, you can
Yeah,
know how to
sometimes.
use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Masks are also part of us. You cannot have a mask that's not you. You know what I mean? It's kind
Absolutely.
of philosophical.
No,
thing
I know.
Zizek, you know Zizek?
Yes.
He talks about masks and he says
Yes.
masks are who we are, but
They're
it's
the
just
ego.
you use. It's like the tools you use to belong or to be part of society, but maybe those masks don't serve you, and you
Yes.
decide to discard them. This is me saying that. not
Yes.
me.
Yeah, yeah.
But I feel like this is how you use them because you have some agenda
Yes.
or to save yourself or to protect yourself. But who you are really authentically is going to attract the people who are really going to love you for who you really are and
Yes.
not going to just love that mask, and you're not going to feel good about that love
But-
because you know it's not genuine.
Right, and those masks sometimes, like you said before, they're unconscious, right? Like
Yeah.
we don't even know they're
Yeah.
just built in, right? So maybe to sum it back up into that, saying that love, like the utmost loving act towards yourself is to show up authentically
Yeah.
and be aware of
Exactly.
am I putting on a mask, am I
Yeah.
not, what are the masks that I put on without paying attention, like subconsciously, and to sort of drop those.
Right.
That's the highest act of love, because it's the highest act of self-love.
Yeah, I would disagree. I would
Yeah.
argue that you wouldn't. I would argue, Zizek, that we're always wearing a mask, or that I mean,
He's not saying that we're always wearing a mask. He says when you wear a mask, that mask is part of who you are.
Yes, I believe
right,
so.
the
gonna
mask
look-
you're choosing
Yeah, you're
is a
choosing
reflection of who you
Yeah.
are. Yeah, that
It's
makes
not like
sense.
we are always wearing a mask. I think we just sometimes choose to wear that mask. Maybe because we don't know what authenticity means.
Oh yeah, we're learning
what I
how to
mean?
be
Well,
authentic.
That's yeah. I
Because
mean,
I used to wear a lot of masks.
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah.
deal with different
society
people,
and different
I was
people.
not
they call
really
it. Isn't there a
confident
context
enough.
switching? Like if you're hanging around with black people, you might switch
and
your
people used to
dialogue
tell
or
me,
like.
you're a chameleon.
Yeah.
Whenever I go, I just gel with that environment. Because
Yes,
I
you're
knew
good at
how to
fitting in.
adapt.
Yes.
I just wanted to fit in, and I felt like okay, and even like I start talking like me.
Yes,
yeah,
that
You know,
context shifted.
exactly.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
would adopt their accent and
Yeah.
everything, and I'm like, what is this? And maybe there's empathy, or like you want to just belong or
Yeah.
be accepted.
That's got
Yeah.
That's got to be like programmed into to fit in is such
Yeah.
an important part of survival. Like
Yeah.
back to that core
Exactly.
thing. It's like
Yeah.
so it's like even like an unconscious thing. I wouldn't even call that a
And
mask.
maybe the
But-
fear of rejection also.
For
I was
sure.
not confident enough to accept being rejected. I was like, I want to be loved by everyone, which is crazy. Nobody can be loved by everyone. But like wherever I go, I try to be accept me. If
Yeah.
somebody looks at me, it's kind of like, I get sick and I think about it for hours. Like, why
We'd
did that
obsess.
person didn't laugh at my joke or was like rolling her eyes or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
I would get completely sick from it. Like, just no, they hate me. Like, one person in the room didn't agree or didn't
Didn't
laugh.
laugh as hard as I wanted
It's
him
like,
to.
yeah,
It's true
she
though.
hates me. Like, now
Yeah.
she hates me. I'm like, maybe that's her nature. She doesn't like to laugh out loud, or who
Yeah.
cares about you? Like, who are you to
Yeah.
even, maybe she doesn't even care about you. Like,
And you
that's
probably don't
right.
even care about her,
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
But you are kind of like
Obsessing
Yeah, that
about,
that,
like,
that that little act of what felt to you like rejection
Yes.
was so painful. It's crazy. Yeah, like
it's human
right?
nature,
People talk
right?
about that, like
narrative we have in our head.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
celebrities who like they get all their fans, we love you, but then they obsess like
Yes,
on
over
the
the one
comments
Yes.
or
that was like
yeah, it's like a
negative.
pretty known
I think it's
phenomenon.
just-
yeah.
But I'm more like aware of it, so that's I think one step up than just being obsessing about like why don't everybody love me? No, I don't want that anymore. I want,
You don't want everyone to love you. That's
I
too
want
much
the right
attention.
people
Let me
to
tell
love
you.
me,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Just not very jokes.
Yeah.
You're pretty good at getting the whole room to laugh though. Oh, we got it now.
Yeah.
We got a silent message.
Where did
Should
you
go
find
get
it?
it.
How did you find a way to write a message?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, well, that's not an emergency, you know.
Not an emergency.
I have
Are you
my
getting
daughter with
bored?
me.
Getting bored.
Yeah, she's been good for like a half hour. She's been so
I
good.
think she could do better than that.
But she's 9.
She's 9.
How often does she spend time alone? Because she's got siblings, like
Yeah,
and
yeah. She's
friends.
she's usually always with someone,
Yeah,
but
Today is like a journée pédagogique.
Pédagogique,
My son
yeah.
also is at home.
yeah, they're off. Her school's off. Her sister's school is not.
is that something you look forward to? Like days when kids are home
Yes.
an extra day, or
Yes,
so it's far.
I love the journée pédagogique. So don't
Yeah,
have to
me too.
worry
I
about
usually like
his
it. Yeah, to
food
have
and
them
all that
around.
stuff, so.
I have to wake up so early.
Yeah, sometimes you stay in bed like half for an hour more.
Mm.
That's the cat.
Yeah, no, cat's here.
The cat's here.
Hey. Did you make a note? We're gonna have to scan it and share it on the.
Although the instructions were only emergency only.
She's like, but I can be cute.
Yeah, she slid a note under the door.
I remember, maybe because it was like there was just like so much toxicity with when my kids were little, but like I'm dreading those days where the kids were home for an extra day or 4 days. Like it was just like weekends could be really hard. Like they were. There was like I don't have to get up and stuff, but then now it's like I've got a home all day. What am I gonna do? It was a bit,
that. When I was married, I hated weekends.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I really hated weekend because first of all, I was alone in the weekend. I used to work mostly 6 days a week, and some days were like a chore. Like, what are we gonna do with the kids? And it was always fighting about where we can.
Yeah.
And when we do something together, the drive, it was just horrible. Like we were always
Toxic
fighting in the car.
Yeah,
like,
some of our biggest fights were weekends or long weekends, or sometimes I would try to organize something. We'd maybe go to a cottage and like it never sometimes it works, sometimes it's amazing, but you never know. And then when it didn't go well, oh God, I remember once. It's this kind of maybe this time of year. And we booked like 2 nights at a place that I didn't know anything about, but it was like up in the Laurentian, or not, up at Tremblant area. And it had a pool. It's like this little condo, not for, it's more for skiers, but it wasn't ski season, so it was pretty cheap. And then for whatever reason, he didn't want to have a good time and just like made all these excuses. And I just, he just like was a hell. And we got to swim in the pool with the kids, but I remember coming back from the pool and he's just in a bad state and just like nothing, like there was like some smell in the room and he was just like freaking out. And so,
liking, like everything.
But now later, like, I mean, at the time I was like, what is it? What can I change? What is, But now I know, like, when they're mad, they're just going to find something. It doesn't, there's not a thing.
It's not you cannot fix that.
Right.
Mindset.
They're full of rage, and if they feel like they need to express that rage, they'll find something to put it on. And I remember in the middle of the night, I said, okay, fine, we're going home, and I like packed up the kids and I put them in the car. We had booked the place for like 2 or 3 nights, and we just left even before the first night. And I was just crying, just sitting there crying in the passenger seat on the way home, and driving the kids home. They had such a lovely time. They were swimming in the pool. Anyway, so these are some things that would happen on my weekends. So I've got... But yeah.
Oh, it's a lot. Especially when the kids are young,
I seriously, the weekends are fun.
I love weekends are like my whole life. Like they're packed.
So much going on that like sometimes I do stuff with them, but it's not. Like, they don't care.
Your kids don't see you much anymore, do they?
They don't see me as much as they used to.
It's okay. They're grown now.
Well,
they don't need to.
They don't want to
anymore.
It's not like, oh, leave me alone. I don't want to deal with you. They're the one like, hey, bye.
Yeah, exactly.
See ya whenever you come back.
See you when you're hungry enough to show up.
Yeah, to show up, exactly.
Just like 2 hours.
It's good. It's all good now. I feel like.
There was a show. What was it? I can't remember. But it was an HBO thing. It was pretty funny, but the mom, she had like 1 kid, and she's divorced, and the son's going off to university, and like it's hitting her hard. Like she's just devastated.
She only has 1.
Yeah, and I just like, and I get it. Like if your whole life was that kid, and now he's leaving, and if you haven't done any work on yourself to where you're fine on your own. But it's kind of funny. I watched it like right in an interesting time where I was like just divorced and my kids aren't as home. They weren't as old as him, but they weren't around as much because we do 50-50. But so she like starts discovering like dating younger guys and parties, and I think she's at
What show is that?
I'll look it up. It's an actress I really like, and I'm not going to waste time trying to think about it because my menopausal brain. Is it menopause or smoking weed all the time? I don't know.
Menopause. Not going to blame the weed.
I'll send you a link. It's actually, I wish they'd done a sequel to it because it ended up being really good. But I remember like looking at this woman and like, oh, that looks so sad. Like to to feel that devastated. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, Shaw like crying on the floor in the kitchen. It's like, come on, he's not dead. Like,
I know a person like that. She has a son, and every time she talks, I'm like, oh, wait until your kids go away. And I'm like, I can't wait. She's like, you just saying that, like her reality. She wants her reality to be mine.
yours. Oh my God.
Like, my life is just full. I really want the house to myself. Like, I can't wait for them to just go so I can have everybody anytime. You know?
Yeah.
I don't have to schedule things, and sometimes I just want to be home alone. It's not that I hate, and I still want to see them, but I'm not gonna be crying when they both leave the house.
Yeah, and she couldn't understand that at all.
Yeah, but she's like, my son, every time. And I feel like it's because she doesn't have anything exciting going on in her life. I know for a fact.
You know for a fact.
Like, always like
Texting you.
complaining about how she doesn't
have anything exciting.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just depends on how your perspective and your relation with your kids as well.
Yeah.
No, it's nice to have a lot going on. Yeah, so there's some energy going on in my kid's life that I should be careful about the details, but like they're starting to kind of recognize like setting boundaries with people who are wanting them around just because if they're not around that means they're alone. And it's just like,
them into,
like making them feel guilty that they don't want to spend a lot of time with them. It's like, wait a minute, you have your own life. You're allowed to, and then they're, well, you know, I've got other people that I need to be, and like, I was one of those people. I'm like, you do not need to worry about me. Like, don't feel like you have to be around. Like, I'm fine. I love hanging out with you, but also I'm fine on my own. And also I really like being alone. Yeah. And they're like, you like being alone? I'm like, yes, I need my solitude. Like, that's such an important part of my life. Yes.
I love being alone.
I love just doing nothing. I just love to just rest.
We're dropping bombs today, guys. We love to rest.
Just rest.
I love that. Just sitting on the couch, watching some stupid show, and whatever, you know.
Yes.
What would you say the other day? You sometimes you just like to eat a meal and not be on your phone, not be reading something. Which, like, obviously that's like the most basic thing. But in today, like, it's so rare. Like, but you like your kids will come in. I'm like, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Like, just sitting there eating? Like, it doesn't make sense to them.
That's so weird. Sometimes I just eat. I don't do anything.
Such a radical thing now.
And they look at me like, and I'm like, we're eating together, and they're playing on their phones, and I'm like, can't you just eat? They look at me like I'm some weirdo, you know? Like, I enjoy the food.
Well, because you made it. You appreciate it.
With love. And I don't like to, when I make a meal, I make a good meal for myself.
You make
I don't
me
like
hungry, lady.
Whatever crap. And I sit and I enjoyed every bite of it. It's just amazing to me that you have to... Yeah,
nowadays that is weird. That is weird, and I need to do that more because when I heard you do that, I need to be better about that.
I do that.
Be mindful of what you're eating.
Oh no, I love doing that, and I asked Mike if we're sitting all together. I asked no phone.
They get angry, like they get upset, like they're like I'm bothering them, and I'm like, can you please just not look at the phone for like.
It's like 10 minutes. It's not that long.
Really, it's not that long.
Yeah, talk. Let's just talk. And I started asking them questions, but they just still think I'm a weirdo.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You're being a good mama.
Well, what are you going to be, a normal person? How? No.
They know you better than that.
We don't want that. I know. We don't want that.
I know.
No. That's not the flavor. No. It's not on the menu.
Do your kids know that you're a little bit different? Like,
I think so.
Do they?
Ryan, my oldest, always laughs at my jokes, so that's a plus.
Mm-hmm. You're allowed to live.
You know,
you laugh at my jokes. All right, you can stay.
You're good. He's not like, oh, again. You know, like some kids are like their mom is trying so hard. I'm not even trying hard. I just say something, and he's very secure in the fact that. Oh, it's just funny, you know, he's fun. And this morning, I was getting ready to go out, and I did my hair, and he looked at me, and he was like, wow.
Oh, wow.
I was like,
he noticed.
thank you. Yeah, I was like, I hit him with something it was not as expecting. I was like, thank you for that wow.
Yeah, thank you for that. Wow.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll take
Take
it.
it, yes. They're very secure. I feel like they're really.
That's
the
success.
youngest one is still working on his personality, but
Yeah, he's 14.
my oldest is really secure.
Yeah.
Showing up and saying I
He's
love
not
you
oh,
and
nice.
hugging his brother.
That's cool.
Aw.
That's
He
amazing.
doesn't have any
Yes.
problem with showing
Affection.
affection.
Wow.
That's what we want.
See, that's a nice bit of feminine energy in the
Yes.
masculine.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes out of nowhere, I'm just in my bed and he's knocking. I was like, "Can I come in?" And I say, "Yeah." And he comes and he's like, and he hugs me and he's like, "All right." He does that to me a lot. Like, yeah, okay,
that's
you
so
good.
He's so tall.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
And then he leaves. And,
Yes.
so happy
That's
that I
great.
have
That-
that.
And yeah, that's what we want, right?
My niece has recognized that my sister is a big goofy, and it manifests itself in. And she's like an amazing people person. She's in real. She's a realtor, so her part of her job is to be make very welcoming and warm. And
Your sister?
but my youngest sister, and so
okay.
she's goofy with like clerks or waiters or whatever, like cracking
Yeah.
jokes, whatever.
right, yes.
And her youngest must have noticed it. Her daughter like was tease her about it or starting to recognize, because when I was visiting, of course, I immediately start cracking jokes, especially because it's now suddenly in English. I can't really do it much in Montreal because the language barrier. So I'm not good. So as soon as I'm in Minnesota, it's like, and so my niece recognized it, and then she like looked at her mom. It's like, oh, I see it. Like this is a family thing.
It's a
Like,
family
yeah,
thing.
but I think she was she's like a little bit embarrassed, but also kind of finds it funny. I don't know. It's like, and my kids sometimes I think they get a little embarrassed at the few times I do kind of try to be funny with with people that aren't in the family. I think sometimes it comes off as a little cringe to them. But I don't know. Hopefully, I'm hoping someday. It sounds like your kids have come to appreciate it.
I don't
my
think
kids
it can come off as cringe.
Because when you're a mom, it's different.
Yeah.
or when you're the kid,
Yeah.
because I think for them it's like I know, like you kind of want to stay small and invisible, and by making jokes,
I don't do that.
but-
I am not small, and
Invisible.
their friends.
I don't know how to do that.
You know, I love their friends. Like when they come home, I'm always like joking, and they respond. They have really great sense of humor. Their friends are cool. Like they have really good friends, and they're like tack with me, and I just love it. Seriously, even my oldest, sometimes he has friends, and then he leaves us, and I'm talking to them.
Oh yeah, Maya's friend. Remember you and Michael hit it off so well. Okay, so to contrast that, my son won't ever let his friends come to the house. If he's on the phone with them and I need to come in or whatever, he like mutes. He doesn't like, he's put up this very serious, very thick wall between his friend's life and his family life. I get it, like I don't push, but so it's and I don't know where it comes from, but it's nice that your sons are a little more forgiving in that area. What about you?
My son's a bit more like yours.
Yeah?
He has both. I guess he's a hybrid because he's very, Mama, I love you. Like very, very affectionate, very vocal. He loves to be home. He loves to he likes to play like with me, tease me, pinch me, you know, like little
needle
tweaking
your
here,
little
like
bit,
my little mommy, you know, he's like that, you know. But with his life, he's very private. He's very like my friends is outside of the home.
Yeah.
My life, like whatever is there is outside of the house. At home, he's very much like mama's boy. I guess he doesn't want anyone to see that.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's it.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But,
I wonder,
maybe.
like, if the divorce was a part of it for him, or it's just kind of like, I've got two I think there was a bit of shame that came from that for my kids.
for me, as more for it echoes more your situation. What the apartment's small. He has two younger sisters in the apartment that are there, and like
he won't have much privacy.
You can't really hang out with your friends. So I think it's more that than being him. And I love that he's a mama's boy. He's a very proud mama boy. He says it himself. He's like, I am a mama's boy. I don't care.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's a healthy mama's boy.
Yeah, it's a healthy mama's boy.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because that line can get crossed. Yeah.
That can go bad.
Oh, the
Yeah.
real
Really
meaning
bad.
of mama's boy
Yes, no, the
is
real
not healthy
no,
at all.
No.
Like these women who manipulate their sons into having a weird relationship.
Yes.
They compensate anything they don't have
With their
partner.
spouse. Yeah, it becomes
They
to put on the
project
kid.
it on the kids, and they have they
That can go really bad.
they what is it? Is that they have they want
What's called parentification.
Expectations.
expectation from in our society.
Oh yeah. It's a
I feel
common
like
thing.
90% of the moms in
Yeah, 90%.
well, I'm exaggerating, but like the
It's part of our
I've never
society to
seen, like, a
exaggerate.
healthy mom.
88%.
Seriously, I've rarely seen a healthy mother-son relationship. Like the wife
true.
takes the side seat when the mother comes. Like she cannot criticize. She cannot say, "Well, your mom. It's my mom. She's on the pedestal.
Yes.
Untouchable. She's the love of my life. Worship her." You
The
come
wife
second.
becomes dirt
Yeah.
when mom's around.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know?
Yeah.
And that woman knows that she has that power, and they use it to make their
And they
daughter-in-law's life hell. It's really in our culture.
Yeah,
I got
and a lot
lucky
of
that I
culture,
didn't
I
have
think.
that.
A lot
When you
of
say our culture, is that like
the Arabic.
Moroccan?
Yeah.
The Arabic
Yeah.
side. 'Cause-
Arabic
okay.
kind of. But I think
see
a lot
Canadian?
of
Like
cultures.
even like Mediterranean.
Mediterraneans,
Indian.
Indians.
Oh yeah, like the Italian mama's
Italian
boys,
mom.
and
Yeah,
the
yes.
Greek.
The Greeks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very Mediterranean.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about in Canada? Like, have you seen that in or Frenchmen?
Independent here? I don't know. I don't know a lot of.
Yeah.
I mean, in the Canadian culture, I don't think.
Let's make some generalizations.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still do
I don't
read
know.
about it in social media. That
Well,
like,
TLC's
moms
got whole
boys-
shows
Yeah.
about these. Like TLC, that used to be called the Learning Channel, right? It just
It's like,
became.
it all comes into like
personalities
setting
or-
boundaries with your mom.
Yes.
Even if the mom is like that, if you can say, okay, you're not allowed to talk to my wife this way. You can't barge in our.
That
you know,
would that would require having proper boundaries,
A lot
yeah.
of men cannot say that.
No,
You know?
that's it. Yeah.
But it's it's from a toxic mother. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't come. That's
No, and I think it
And
trickles
the way
down.
they raise them to just be like, yeah, you owe me everything and you have to give me everything, you know?
Yeah.
And we use religion in our country because in our religion, parents are put in a pedestal.
Yeah.
So you have to take care of them, you have to obey them, you have to, and they use it as a tool. They use religion as a tool to manipulate their
so if he
kids.
starts standing up for himself,
Yeah,
that you can always
they're
pull
like-
that religion
they start,
card.
like telling God is gonna get
Curse
angry at you. I'm gonna curse you. They use that word against you.
That's it.
Like,
Yeah.
you just, yeah, they know the power of that word. We have
Yeah.
a saying like
Yeah.
if they use it against you, some people they start like they think that God has like they're going to hell.
Yeah.
Well, they're living on
Yeah.
eggshells now because
Yeah.
something's gonna manifest. That
But they
curse
don't
is gonna
have
show up
anything for
somewhere.
the kids, like you have to obey your parents. You have to do everything for them. You have to take care of them. That like they took care of you. So that the fact that your parents took care of you, it's not a given. It's not like that's their job. They put you in
It
this
shows
world.
that, right? We all choose to be parents. It's,
Yeah,
it's, like,
but
it's such
I
a
didn't
really.
choose, but you had to take care of me. Who's gonna take care
Yeah.
of me? You know, I'm a baby. Like, what am I gonna do? A baby without a parent is nothing.
It's a dead baby.
Yeah, it's a dead baby. Like, what am I supposed to do? No, they guilt you for that. Like, I sacrificed and I made you and I did this. But they don't say anything from like, oh, you have to take care of your kids or your. No, that doesn't exist. So it's just
There's a lot of guilt,
Yeah.
and the way we were brought up, I agree. There's this like we have a little mouse coming in.
You can eat that.
Okay.
She's leaving it treats for us. She's like trying to draw us out with chocolate. Maybe they'll stop early because we're chocolate break.
Yeah. So I agree that there's a lot of guilt put into us.
That notion of I look at all the things I did for you,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
that. I
Yes.
mean, early in an understanding of narcissism, you learn about that. It's
Yeah.
like that is not you. If you're pulling that card on your kids, it's one, you're taking away your own agency.
Yeah.
It's like no, you were the parent. You made the choice to bring me into this world.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly.
And you knew what that meant. You knew that for 18 years you were responsible. So don't try to pull, you know.
Yeah.
But kids don't know that. Kids, we like, oh, okay, I get scared.
Yeah, well, in Arabic, I don't know in Moroccan how it would translate, but in Arabic and Lebanese, there are really hardcore expressions that I've heard many times. They would say like, I sacrificed everything for you, and
Yeah.
in retrospect, it's like, well, I don't understand like what exactly was sacrificed, but it's like
It's a good question.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
yeah, like, what is it? What did you
What does that mean
sacrifice?
exactly?
Yeah.
Yes,
You
I sacrificed everything,
It's
for
like
you.
she's a martyr. Like having a kid is this huge.
It's like the worst thing that happened to them.
Dude, like
Yeah,
it's like all having a kid is just suffering and misery
Yeah.
and pain
Yeah.
and nothing good comes out of being
Yeah.
a mom or
Yeah.
a dad. You
Yeah.
know.
Not
yeah.
when they
And
talk-
then they're after you, like, when are you gonna get a kid?
Yeah.
So you can feel like they're telling you how miserable they are. They're your
They
parents.
used to always tell us, wait until you have your own
Yeah,
children and you will feel the
This is
suffering, the pain that
Yes.
I'm feeling. I'm like, my God, what is this?
I wish your children are gonna make you suffer
like they
the way you're making me suffer.
I can't wait for them to hurt you the way you're hurting me right now.
That's exactly what the message.
How psycho though
Yeah,
when
it
you
is-
think about
it
it
is
now.
crazy.
Like, would you ever say that to your
You
children?
have to just.
Never. I would never.
I've never said anything like that. To
I mean, as much
and
as
even
I've-
if I try, they're smart enough to tell me, cut the
Like,
bullshit.
Mom,
Yeah, they give you the
Like,
finger.
whoa, mom! Like, this
Like,
is a bit
first of all,
extreme.
they're gonna say you chose to have kids. Like,
Yes.
deal with it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that whole
They don't have
this
it yet.
again,
It
this
doesn't work anymore.
have the courage to be responsible for the choices you made.
Yeah.
Like putting that on your child, I sacrifice for you.
Yeah.
Nobody asked you to do that. That was
Yeah,
like I mean, maybe that's between you and your parents or you and your husband but to put that on the child,
Yeah.
whoa, like
yeah.
like talk about a step
heavy.
forward for society. Like I mean, and some parents maybe still do that, but no, I would never say that to my kids because I've never felt that way about my kids.
Exactly.
Even with all the toxicity I've had, all the self-doubt, all the self-hatred, never once was it
Yeah.
I blame my children. Like, and I used to get depressed and suicidal and all that stuff. And there was this idea of like, okay, it's overwhelmed and
Yeah.
it's the kids, there's a lot, but I never,
It's not their fault.
and I did feel overwhelmed by
Yeah.
the kids, but even then in my deepest, darkest things, it wasn't like these fucking kids. Like
Yeah.
I knew, no, I wanted kids. I chose that. So yeah, that whole you owe me or I hope
Yeah,
you had kids.
owe me.
Yeah, that I think we've moved.
You
We're
owe
past
me.
those.
Yeah. But we had to break those cycles.
Yes, well, that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
Cycle breakers.
Cycle breakers.
Cycle breaker.
Cycle breakers. We should make a song about it.
yeah. Just like
We're cycle breakers.
you could just see the graphics exploding,
Yeah.
breaking.
I see that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Wow.
that's, very
That was
positive.
deep today, I feel. It's a lot.
It's heavy
It's deep
stuff.
every time.
Yeah, it's hard not to be.
We are deep.
We're bad. We're
I'm
bad.
very
At, yeah,
deep.
we are
Very
deep. We're bad at small talk. Small talk. I can't do
can't
small
do
talk.
small talk.
Small talk anyway. Like I don't I don't like it.
No.
I don't like
I don't know how to do
like
it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe very briefly, but yeah, like with Miriam,
Yeah.
she like looks at someone. What's your greatest fear? Like, she meets a stranger. Tell me
Like,
what scares
what's your
you
greatest
most.
fear? Yeah, yeah.
It's like, yeah, that girl. She doesn't mess
like,
around with small talk. So I'm not quite that level. Like I kind of can ease, but I can't spend too much time talking about the
it's
weather
just
or the
fluff.
habs
Yeah,
or.
it's fluff.
Yeah.
Or complaining.
Or complaining.
Yeah, well, we're done doing that, right?
Right?
We're done. All right. I love you.
Love you, girl.
Love you. All right. Okay,
Okay.
Bobbers, we're getting